week 5, and I watched 5 games. Can I keep this up for week 6? Well, it would involve getting up to watch Bears versus Jags. Is that who's playing in London this week? Oof, I'll try. But our 5 for this week, well, let's start with the 2 that I live streamed. Bills game. That was one of my least favorite Bills games I've ever watched. And you look at the score and how close it was at the end, it shouldn't have been that close. Shouldn't have been anywhere near that close. The defense played decently enough to keep us in it. Josh was playing like he was concussed before he was concussed. And, you know, you could say that was because of his problematic receiver group. Apparently Khalil Shakir is more important to their whole everyone eats plan than we realized. Also, everyone eats also involves Dalton Kincaid catching things. But the problem is that Josh's passes were not good, even to start with. Mac Hollins is Mac Hollins, but there's only so much you can do if your all-star quarterback is not throwing like an all-star quarterback, which he was not. He also had that weird, like, I'm going to run and be Superman, but then toss the ball back in bounds at the last second play. That was when I was like, okay, he's got some decision-making issues going on this game that are going to be a problem. Speaking of decision-making problems, we've got Sean McDermott doing goofy-ass time management things at the end of the game again. Love when that happens. I don't know what to say about that. We could fire him, but replace him with who? Like, that's the thing is, you know, do we have somebody in mind that we want to replace him with who's going to be necessarily any better? We want a defensive coach. Robert Saleh is on the market. While we're talking about Robert Saleh, let's talk about that Jets game, because that was one of the other games I watched. I didn't watch the whole thing because it was boring, because the Jets are terrible. But the Jets are terrible not necessarily because of Robert Saleh, although I'm sure he wasn't helping, but like the offense is the problem on that game. So why are we not? This has been said a million times, and I'm not as qualified as many other people to make this argument, but like Aaron Rodgers says he doesn't have anything to do with this. Nathaniel Hackett seems to be the obvious target here, and yet Robert Saleh, who we have seen signs that he and Aaron Rodgers do not have the most functional relationship.
13 plays, 91 yards.
Escorting him out with security without letting him talk to anyone on his team, that's like a level of disrespect that I don't think that guy deserved.
Oh, I guess.
I don't know, the whole thing just seems like a mess. So let's watch the Jets beat the Bills next week because, you know, by comparison to those 2 games, there were 2 other games that I watched in their entirety that were great games. The Chiefs game was a great game, although a little bit lopsided, but it was nice to see, as much as I want the Chiefs to lose, watching the Chiefs play up to what the Chiefs should play like is fun football to watch. As long as they're not playing the Bills, then it's less fun. Yeah, I don't mind watching good football. I just, you know, would rather it not be our rivals. But Chiefs did a very, very good job this week. The Saints were not impressive, so I don't know what happened to the Saints from the first 2 weeks. Just like I don't know what happened to the Bills from the first 3 weeks. We'll see if either of those teams can pull it back together. The best game of the week was easily Bucks-Falcons, which who would have thunk that I don't care about either of those teams. But man, Kirk Cousins threw for like 500 yards or something, and Baker was no pushover either. Like, that was a really amazing game to watch, and it was exciting all the way through, and especially at the end. And the Kirk Cousins swag surf watch.
They were playing that song about you swag and surf, and the whole stadium was moving. And I looked around, I was like, this is pretty sweet.
I hope that continues to be a thing all season.
Oh boy, here he goes. His alter ego.
And the last game that I watched, again, I did not watch the whole thing because I'm an old lady and it was going on until about 3 o'clock in the morning, but the Steelers-Cowboys game, which unfortunately sounds like it only got interesting at the end, and I didn't watch the end, so I can't speak to it. Those are both teams to watch, but I don't know how carefully. Like, I don't know. I think they're both teams that'll do well throughout the season and then not really go anywhere in the playoffs. Could have said that last year for the Ravens. They were great all season and went nowhere in the playoffs. They're picking up. I didn't get to watch Ravens-Bengals. I think I would have liked watching Ravens-Bengals because I think it would help me. I'm starting to understand Lamar. It took me a while. So that's my wrap up. Next week I'll try and do 6 games. Anybody who wants to watch live streams this week, there will not be a Chiefs live stream this week because there will not be a Chiefs game this week. But there will be a Bills live stream on Monday night for Monday Night Football against the Jets. I'm not optimistic about that game. But if you want to watch the live stream, we do have memberships now. You can join at the link in my bio, or if you're not on an Apple platform, you should be able to just hit the join link on the page. It should be much easier for you. You also get some small bonus videos, mostly dog content and me running my mouth about whatever I feel like running my mouth about. If you think that's worth $3 to $5, please go ahead and join. If you don't want to join, that's fine. I get it. I probably wouldn't pay money to watch me talk either, but I appreciate those of you who do. It's really sweet of you. And I have fun chatting with you during the games. But other than that, I will continue giving my edited versions of those live streams, plus my weekly roundups. By week 16, am I going to watch 16 games in a week? It's, stretch goal. It's good to have goals in life. Go Bills.